And we got the Gears of War E-Day reveal today with the release date and everything. We got some gameplay for it and everything. I've already watched it, but I just wanted to like kind of look into it a bit more because I gotta be honest with you, my first impressions, it might be worse than Gears 5. I think it might be worse than Gears 5 to be honest, but I don't know. We'll have to see. You know, I mean, it's just a reveal. It's just a trailer. Everything's subject to change. The game's like 3 to 4 months away, so everything could change. We don't know. As far as I can tell from the trailer, there is not a single bit of roadie running in the trailer. Not a fan. That's like I said on Twitter as well. Gears of War is not Gears of War without roadie running because it's like the signature thing of Gears of War. But you know, well, whatever. I mean, as some people have speculated, as I also was speculating to myself when I was watching the trailer, I can understand it if maybe it's a story element. Maybe they didn't, maybe they didn't do roadie running in the beginning or something. But like, I've also seen speculation about it could just be an armor thing. Maybe they need to roadie run when they have heavy armor on, but problem with that is the fact that they show no roadie running with armor on, so I don't know about that one. It just seems like they're stepping away from roadie running, which is the signature of Gears of War, and I don't know, they might kill the game before it even releases if they do that. But anyway, we can look at it. I have it pulled up here. I'm not entirely sure if the volume needs to go lower or higher, but hopefully it's fine. And I'm not gonna like really, I'm not gonna like, if you guys want to like really see it yourself, I'd recommend pulling it up yourself. You can just go to Gears of War on YouTube, it's on their official channel. But I'm just gonna kind of break it down a little bit, give my thoughts on it, because I am disappointed with what they showed, but there is a lot of room for improvement, and if Coalition, the devs, there's room for improvement. There's a lot of room for improvement. And I'm not saying they should like change the entire game, but there's just some things that they need to tweak. They need to bring roadie running back, first of all. You can't have Gears of War without the roadie running. I mean, I understand it somewhat if it's a story thing, and maybe we'll be roadie running later in the story or something, because they like maybe figure out that they need to with the armor and stuff. I'm not really sure. But like that's the kind of the entire thing of Gears of War is all that heavy armor. They kind of need to do the roadie running so that they can move faster and be more efficient and everything. But there's a lot of elements that I did notice. Because I didn't just watch it once, I watched it twice because I wanted to look more into it and focus a little bit more on the details. There are things that I noticed that did make me like it a little bit more. So yeah.
Rated M for mature.
We can go over it a little bit.
This is the Coalition Emergency Broadcast System. There are reports of multiple tremors.
There's a lot of this that I do like. But definitely a lot of room for improvement. Might be a little loud.
Stay sharp. Don't let him.
I might have to turn it down. You can see right off the bat, there's quite a lot of gore. There's a lot of blood, which is a good thing. It does have the dark and grittiness, kind of. It's still a little bit more lighter, in my opinion. Not nearly as dark as the OGs. But you can see right off the bat, like, it's kind of cool seeing them all in like the civilian clothing. I'm not entirely like I never really read much of the books. I had the book. It's like a big book that you can read. I read it a little bit, but I never read it enough to like really like memorize it or anything. So I don't know like if they start out in the cog or whatever, or maybe they end up just getting into the cog or something because maybe they're just, I don't know, highly skilled or something. Because Marcus, even here, he's going to be very skilled. But you can see right off the bat, you can just look at this and tell that they ain't really changing much from Gears 5, you know? I mean, this ain't that different from Gears 5. You can already tell right off the bat, no roadie running. You're just running normally, some Resident Evil shit. I don't like it. Not that I never played Resident Evil, but, you know, Resident Evil is cool and all, but it ain't Gears of War. You can't make Gears of War something it isn't. Why are you copying other games that aren't Gears of War and have nothing to do with Gears of War and are a completely different style from Gears of War? It's just, I don't know, I don't like it, man. You got the regular sprinting, you got this right here, which basically removes all skill from the original reload system, because, you know, the entire skill of reloading in Gears of War was that you had to look away from the action to focus on the reload. I mean, if you can just see it right there, who's gonna jam? You can't jam your gun if it's on your fucking, in the middle of your damn screen where you're looking at 24/7. Like, this, that's too much, you know? This is Gears of War, okay? No shame to the devs or anything, but this is Gears of War. It is not a game for babies. Why are you babifying the game? This is too much, you know? You can't have it be that easy to reload. That's not what Gears of War is. And Epic Games would have never done this. But you see the regular sprinting like some other games that Gears of War should not be. They also have... The Locust is weird too. I get that it's like earlier, you know, it's Emergence Day and everything. They're gonna be a little bit different. And I mean, I will admit, you'll see it better. You see it better later on in the trailer. But I will admit, I do like that the way that they handled the Locusts. It's kind of, they're more, how do you say it? They're more like savage, I guess. You know, they're more like not fully evolved, not fully developed as they are, you know, in Gears of War 1. Because in Gears of War 1, they're a lot more developed, a lot more intelligent, not very savage. Their designs are a lot more polished, and in this, they're just kind of all over the place. I mean, there's like I think there's a boomer. I'm pretty sure I saw there's a boomer that's like really big, like really thick, not like the normal boomers, which is pretty cool. I will say, you do see later on in this, I don't know why there's this red smoke on the E-holes either, but for some reason, even though they seem to only be civilians, I'm not entirely sure if they're in the COG or whatever, but this is Emergence Day, they don't know anything about the Locust, and I don't think it's here, but I saw them throw a fucking grenade in the E-hole. How do they know that they can do that? If this is the day of the Locust emerging, they know nothing about the enemy. I don't know why they're throwing grenades already in the holes. It might have been, was it here? I don't know what these are supposed to be, but they look a hell of a lot like the Gears 5 Swarm. And this is before the Swarm, because the Swarm didn't happen until after Gears 3, and they wiped out all the Locusts. So a little strange there. I think they're supposed to be maybe younger, like earlier versions, less evolved versions of Wretches or something, I don't know. I mean, the graphics are beautiful. The train is cool. Why is the train on the bottom? I just noticed that. They got like a magnet train. Interesting. Some people actually spotted out this too. This is 6 shots. I think we always had 8 in all the other ones. I don't know if there was any other ones that we had 6, but this might be the first one to have 6. I'm not entirely sure. I also don't know. I don't know what this X thing is. I don't know what these are for either. Actually, I do have an idea. Are we gonna have like some kind of progressive active reload or something? Like if you active reload successfully 4 times in a row, is it just gonna be like more powerful or something? Interesting. Okay, the civilians falling on the ground is pretty cool, trying to, because they're afraid and everything. See, that looks like it would be pretty cool. They did say something about environmental, there'll be like environmental destruction and stuff, which is pretty cool.
Like huge crab figures picking up through the street. Just the adrenaline kid. We need to keep moving.
It is very cool to look at, and the graphics are beautiful. And I like the way that they're handling the environment. Like I know I'm criticizing it a lot, but I'm still very optimistic about it. There's a lot of things that they're doing well. There's just a lot of things they need to change.
Underpass.
Let's get moving.
Let me see what I can
Obviously,
do.
they had their retro lancers. They hadn't invented the lancer yet,
I need backup. These things are all over me.
because they didn't develop the lancer until after the emergence,
Anyone that can hear
because they needed something more optimized. This was Corpser. Oh yeah, the Corpser's got like spikes on his legs. See that? I didn't notice that before. You see those spikes right there? I know I can't zoom in on a YouTube video. I wish I, well, I mean, oh. Does this zoom in on the video, or does it, I think it only zooms in the UI, right? Yeah, it only zooms in the UI. Yeah, you can see like spikes on his legs right there. I don't think I've ever seen them have that. So like that kind of proves my point a little bit more too, with like the being more, a little bit more savage, not fully evolved yet. There's spikes all over his legs. And there's also this right here. It's hard to tell here. You see it better later on, but I do like the cover system, because the fact that it's not like all the other Gears of War games where, you know, it kind of not really realistic, but they made it more realistic here. And I believe it's the cover, when you're on cover, it kind of adapts to the cover, so you're actually hiding your head properly, instead of all the other Gears of War games where you could just, you know, your head's completely exposed and it makes no sense.
Open fire.
But there's like smaller surfaces they take cover on later in the trailer, like this one right here. Like there's a very small gap right here, not much cover, but he's hiding, he's adapting to the size of the cover, which I like. This is a good change. This is a very good change, because it's more realistic. You're actually not as exposed as you would be in the other games. So they did a good job with that.
These are goddamn breach points.
I like the weapons are very powerful. There's the sliding.
Reloading. Cover me.
I like how powerful the weapons are. I mean, they're able to headshot even with the lancers.
All right.
I gotta admit, the retro charge is not as good as the old games.
That gear said they're stuck in the pay and save. Which way?
It's on the other side of those.
I mean, the graphics again, they're just beautiful.
At least that thing carved us a shortcut.
Through here.
Then we got this Onyx guard, I think he's supposed to be. He's got a fucking minigun, which is cool. We never had a minigun in the other games, did we? I don't think we did. We had the Mulcher, actually. That's not a Mulcher, I don't think. That's more like a regular minigun. I'm curious if that's going to be more powerful or less powerful than a Mulcher, though. Because I feel like the Mulcher would be more evolved version of the weapon of a minigun, you know? Like it's made specifically to kill the locusts. Whereas this is probably just a regular minigun that's just made for normal, you know, human warfare. But it's pretty cool, I won't lie.
Too slow.
They did a lot of gore, which is a big improvement.
Ah, bugger. Come on then.
Don't really know why they're going the Foz direction with this random Onyx guard. Yeah, look how gross that thing is. Doesn't even have eyes. Oh, it does have eyes. It's just low. Why are the eyes so low? The eyes are in like the center of its head. It's got spikes on it too. Good lord. Like the blood on the armor.
Nice shot. Oh, where the hell did you lot come from?
We heard your distress call.
Well, you
Just,
saved
it
my
feels
ass.
like they're trying too
We
hard to
need
kind
make
of
ourselves scarce.
replace flaws in this
Fuckers
earlier
keep pouring
version.
in every few minutes.
It's got like the same sort of accent, same sort of humor and everything.
Yeah, who are you? Where's your
You can see
squad?
the cover thing again. But then you can climb over this shit, which is interesting. Not a bad thing, I won't lie. I do notice that they're doing the thing that they do in 4 and 5, where like they have like the small weapons on the back, which is a little strange. I guess it kind of makes sense because they're big characters, but I don't know. I don't know why they changed that. They changed it when they made Gears 4, and it's not a very good change, to be honest. Because I kind of feel like the weapons are smaller on their back than they are when they're holding them, which is a little strange. I think they made them maybe a little bit bigger than they were in 4 and 5. So it's not as bad. I think they also got it higher up on the back. It's just kind of floating though. He's got no armor on, so I don't know how that works. Not sure what it's attached to, you know. But you see how savage this like drone or whatever this is? That looks more like a grenadier. He's very savage, not very intelligent. And then that E-hole got grenaded. That's some strong ass glass. Well, they got bulletproof glass in this fucking grocery store, or almost bulletproof. And then they got the parkour, which is okay.
Anyone see him?
I'll be honest, I have more of a problem with just the lack of the roadie running. If they had roadie running, I'd be like, yeah, no Gears of War game has ever had parkour or climbing over high like structures and everything. But I'll take that over, you know, removing roadie run. If they could add back the roadie running, it'd be a lot better, to be honest with you. Like it's not that big of a deal being able to parkour and slide and shit. I mean, sliding's a little bit weird. Feels like they're kind of going more of a Call of Duty type style, which no one wants.
There's no end to these freaks.
I mean, I gotta admit, they did. I think the reason why they're doing the red smoke on the e-holes is probably just to make them a little bit more obvious, because in all the other iterations, it's kind of difficult to know where the e-hole is if you're not paying attention. I mean, if you're paying attention, it's kind of obvious because the locusts are just actively climbing out of it, and you can hear the sounds of the e-hole and everything. But you know, they're just making it. They're making this game for babies, I guess. I don't know. Kind of removing the skill gap a little too much here.
On your right. I got it.
And the gun, a bit of ammo, and then he jams it. It's interesting to me that this doesn't kill him, or at least do more damage to him. I guess it's just a more savage, stronger variant. I mean, this is a pretty cool scene. I'd imagine this is gonna be a cutscene in the game, in the campaign.
Tom!
I feel like Dom would have helped though. But then you have a chainsaw with Ty.
Our roads converge again.
I like that they're bringing all the OGs back. Wouldn't be the OG without the OGs, you know. But that's basically it. They show a little bit more here. You see how they have this big ass boomer, a lot more savage, less evolved boomer here. That is a big ass boom shot. Oh my god! Holy shit! I didn't notice that. That weapon is massive. I mean, I understand why it's massive because he's massive, but oh my god. Oh my lord. I wonder, like, obviously, well, I don't know. They probably don't have the regular boom shot since it's an older, like, earlier version. I wonder if it's still called the boom shot though in game. That thing is massive. So is that, given the size of that weapon, or I would imagine I'd imagine you can't pick that up, right? Because that'd be kind of crazy, especially in multiplayer. If you can't have a boom shot in multiplayer, that'd be interesting. Because even Gears of War 1 had the boom shot. It wasn't that good, but it was there. But there's no way in hell the COG would ever be able to hold that massive ass weapon. I mean, that'd be so difficult for them to use. That thing is massive, dude. I want to know what that's all about, too. You see the Lancer here. I think that's less evolved versions of the Ravens, or Reavers, I mean. I always get that confused, because they had the Ravens, which are the helicopters. Is that like a jet right there? Or a plane or something? That's cool. See all this red stuff as well. Very interesting, I'd say. But yeah, you got this Lancer. It looks very small there. I mean, it looks normal here, but it looks small there for some reason. I mean, you can see here, and I don't know. It might be magazines or something, maybe. I have no idea what that could be. I'd say it's either magazines or it's got to be some sort of like power up thing with the active reloads. The more consecutive active reloads you succeed with, maybe it just gets stronger or something. That's what it seems like it's gonna be. They got like this disgusting ass thing. This seems more like something you'd see from the Emulsion, like the Emulsion enemies, to me. And then there was also another thing I noticed here. Oh, that's a weapon. I thought this was a Gnasher. What the fuck is that weapon? Is it shooting emulsion? It's like, that looks like emulsion, doesn't it? It's like acid or emulsion or something. I mean, it's burning. It looks like emulsion to me. They've got like an emulsion shotgun. It seems like a shotgun. You see the way it like spreads out like a shotgun. They got like an emulsion shotgun, which is interesting. Very Gears 5 styled weapon though, for, you know, before Gears 1. It's a very interesting way to use the torque bow. I'll admit. As you can see here. It's, oh my god, the motion blur is crazy. Holy shit. That looks like a torque bow at least. Oh yeah, it's a torque bow if you look at the top right. Definitely a torque bow. He's just like using the weapon itself to melee, which is crazy. And then they're chainsawing, I guess. Yeah, it's pretty cool. You also see this might be a younger version of Hoffman as well. I'm not sure what the fuck that weapon is. Is that gonna be like a grenade launcher? It looks like a grenade launcher. But you can see a ton of different like characters in the background and stuff. You got Marcus and Dom wearing their, you know, classic armor and stuff. And then you got Hoffman with a long shot. You got some of the wretches. I think is that a drone? Can't tell what that is. There's some boomers as well. You can see the boom shot right there with the boomer, the big guy. Some drones and wretches. I think it looks like there might be a corpser in the background there. Is that a corpser? Yeah, it is a corpser. You see the legs actually. These are the corpser legs. It's pretty cool. I also don't like that they're only releasing this on Xbox and PC, no PlayStation for some reason. Even though the previous game had PlayStation, but whatever. A little strange. But we get this October 6th. About 3 to 4 months away. I don't know if it showed it in here. Yeah. So we got open beta. I can't speak. We got open beta. And we got some somewhat decent character skins. I don't think it has it in this, but there was also like some kind of Ghost Rider type skins as well. that I think were also for pre-order. But yeah. Ugh. I mean, overall, it looks like it'll be good. Well, it doesn't look like it'll be good. It looks like it'll be decent. My fucking mic stand. God damn you. Hold up the microphone, you ass. Damn it, man. I don't want to get a new mic stand. I haven't even had this one that long. But yeah, I do like most of what they showed with E-Day. Trying to fix my microphone a bit more. It's not holding the microphone very well at all. I know it's a heavy microphone, but like, goddamn. But yeah, so I like what they showed us so far. I do, I'll admit. You know, there's a lot of things that could be improved, but it does look good. It does look good. So I'm pretty happy with the trailer. It does have me excited. Even though I'm disappointed in some of the elements of the game, I am very excited for it. I mean, to be honest with you, I gotta be honest. You know, they've already disappointed us with Gears 4 and 5 and everything. Like, we're used to the disappointment with the Coalition. You know, they have just been driving Gears of War into the dirt ever since they took over from Epic Games. Because, oh my god, man. You know, Fortnite's okay, but they shouldn't have given up Gears of War for Fortnite, man. I feel like they could have either just not continued Gears of War at all and just kept the property instead of selling it off, or they could have just kind of prioritized, you know, making their new game and, you know, just give us some new stuff every now and then, you know? I would have been happy with that. I would be way more happy with that if they were just like, you know, give it a few years of running Fortnite and then they'd just be like, you know what? Here you guys have all of our Gears of War games fully remastered on PC and everything. That would have been nice. That would have been better than what we got. Coalition should not have taken over. I don't like what they're doing with the franchise at all. It is not as good as it was with Epic Games, to be honest. But there's some things that they're improving on, so I don't know. Only time will tell. We'll see what happens with the open beta. I'd imagine the open beta is going to be multiplayer because I don't think Gears of War's ever had any campaign betas, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember any betas that had campaign. I'm pretty sure the betas are always multiplayer only. So we'll see what the multiplayer's like, you know. I'll be honest. The Coalition usually doesn't do too much harm with the stories. You know, even the campaigns in 4 and 5 weren't that bad. It's always the multiplayer that's just like hit or miss, you know? It's so easy for them to fuck up the multiplayer if they just make one bad decision. And I mean, if there's no roadie running, then it ain't Gears of War. Especially in multiplayer.